back to my channel. Welcome back to Diaries of Chris, guys. Today I'm gonna make a video on how I save and prepare for my trips. You guys know that traveling has become a huge part of my life, and so and I do it on such a cheap budget that I figured, well, and my friends have been asking me to make a video on this, guys. How do I save and prepare for my trip? Okay, so the first step, right, and I have my laptop here because I don't think I'm gonna be able to remember everything, but I have my laptop to help me. So guys, the first step would be to get a travel journal. That is the most important thing. Make sure you write down everything, like your dreams. You might be just sleeping at night and you thought, oh my gosh, I want to go to New Mexico. Yes, write it down. Why do you want to go there? Maybe you know why. What cities do you want to travel to? Islands, countries, safaris, anything that has to do with getting on that plane, guys. I suggest you write it down because I believe it starts with a dream, or it starts with a thought, right? So make sure you get a travel journal. The second thing that I would suggest to do is do some research. The internet is your best friend, guys. Google is your best friend. I love researching. I love just typing up things. What is there to do in Thailand? What is there to do in Malaysia? The 10 things to do while visiting these countries. Oh my gosh, all of that. Do some research. Okay, so by now I'm assuming that you figure out where you want to go and why you want to go there. So now you're thinking, oh my god, how long am I going to stay there for? Once again, the internet is still your friend. You're looking at the peak seasons, right? Should I go there in the summer? Should I go there in the winter? All of these things are going to play a part because peak seasons are the most expensive. Peak seasons are going to let you know that this is the hottest time to go there, and this is the most expensive time to go there. Now we don't want that. Right. Now you're looking into multi-city, and I always stress that, guys, when you're trying to travel on a budget, you need to look at layovers, right? Because you need to take advantage of that. You're in a new city, you're there maybe for a day, and I know people don't like layovers, guys, but that's where you go in, the layovers. You're gonna try to prolong your layover. Where would you like to go? Now you're still in the research. Now you're looking at cities that you might want to hit. You're looking at places that you might want to go or not want to go. You're just doing all kinds of research. Can you stay there for a day? Is it safe? Step 4, you want to set a budget. This is my favorite one. Well, one of my favorite ones, right? Because now you're telling yourself, you're competitive. How much money can I spend, and how much am I going to be able to do, right? How do I spend the less amount of money, and how do I do the most stuff? The budget should include your hotel, your hostel, your plane ticket, activities, all of that. Set a budget. Set a budget. Well, you haven't bought your plane ticket yet, but you've set a budget because you've looked into all of that. You've looked into the peak seasons. You already know if you want to travel, if you don't want to travel during this time. And now you know, maybe I want to visit 3-4 cities in 10 days. How am I going to make that possible? Am I going to afford to stay in one city more than 2 days or more than 3 days? That's why you have the layovers, where you might just be there for a day, and that's completely fine. If you don't have the money, then you don't have to stay in the city for more than 1 day. And always make sure you're careful with that. If you select a direct flight, like just departure and return, you're not going to get that opportunity booked. But guys, step 4 is all about setting a budget. Now you have a clue. You've written down everywhere you want to go. You've done some research as to the things that you can do while you're there. You've looked at the peak seasons. You're finding out about the culture, what's hot, what's not, what is there to do. Now you're setting a budget, right? And you've looked at the flights as well. The 5th thing, guys, you have to, this whole thing is really about patience. I don't know how to break it down to you, but the 5th thing, guys, you're really playing with the peak seasons. For example, it's cheaper to travel in Europe during the winter, but during the summer, like, it's over $1,000. But in the winter time, it could cost you from $400 to maybe $500. But if you want to travel in the summertime, that's $1,200. Is that what you want? No, you don't want that. You're playing around with all of this. Or it's cheaper to travel to Thailand 8 months in advance. Once again, the peak seasons are gonna be summertime. Do you want to travel during that time? No one is telling you that you have to travel. Well, it's not cold in Thailand. You don't have to travel during a season that you're not comfortable with. But you have to play around with those numbers, guys. You have to include the layovers. You have to include the layovers are always going to be the cheapest route to go. I cannot stress that enough, guys. And make sure you're patient. Make sure you're checking multiple sites at the same time. Kayak.com, Skyscanner, all of that good stuff. Also, step 5 is about finding out, not only are you looking into the peak seasons, you're only looking into the days to travel. Originally, it's really cheap to travel on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday because people don't want to travel during those days. And I know that it's cheaper to return on a Sunday. So while you're doing your research, you need to include those days in there, okay guys? You're just not going to pick a random day that you want to travel on. Make sure you include those days that are supposedly cheaper. And it's also cheaper to travel like early in the morning or late at night. So those are the things that you're looking at as well, right, during step 5. Step 6 is really the last turning point, I believe, because you've basically written down everything that you need to write down. You've written down the countries that you want to visit. You know the peak seasons. You know maybe if you take a layover in this country or you stop in another country before you get to the other country, which is the country that you actually want to go to, you're going to spend less money. You know that it's cheaper to travel on a Tuesday than going on a Wednesday. You know that you want to be away for 10 days, 12 days because you've been writing everything down. You've been patient. You've been doing your research, right? So step 6 is when you actually have to book your ticket, guys. And this is not a rushing process. Step 6 is what's happening after you've looked at every site and you've decided that, oh my gosh, this is it. I think I found the best deal, right? You've worked it out. You want to spend 2 days in Barcelona. You want to spend 3 days in Paris. You want to spend 2 days in London, right? So you've worked everything out, the details, knowing that it would be cheaper for you to go to Barcelona first and hop on a train to go to London. You don't have to hop on another flight, but you've given yourself enough time in that city. You've written everything down and literally you have the itinerary. You know how much that you're willing to spend, and now you have options and it's all up to you to just buy your ticket. You're just buying your ticket, and once you bought your ticket, guys, it's all set. It's all now time for preparation, which is one of my favorite. Okay, so now I'm gonna give you maybe 6 or 7 of my favorite websites that I use when I'm traveling, guys. And so my first one is Skyscanner, people. Skyscanner is the legit truth, man. It's the creme de la creme. Cheese de la cheese, guys, whatever. But anyway, Skyscanner tells you what day it is. It tells you what month it's the cheapest to travel in, what week is going to be the cheapest, what day is going to be the cheapest. People, you cannot beat that. Not only does it do that, it tells you what countries you can have a layover in without you having to choose that. It's the most amazing thing. It compares the prices for you. It tells you what day you need to be booking it on. It tells you what month you want to be going so you can save the most money. I love Skyscanner, so make sure you check that out. The second thing is Kayak.com. I love Kayak because once again, it comes up with all different websites, right? It compares prices with multiple websites at the same time, and it has the multi-city option that you can click on. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to choose to have a layover. You just have to click on there, and then it shows you different places where you can stop at, which is really awesome. And then the next one that I really like is the Booking.com. Yeah, guys. Okay, I don't like Booking.com for flights or any of that stuff because I don't think they're not in our favor. They're not in our favor, guys. But what it does do is gives you amazing reviews on activities to do in every single country that you would like to go in, and it's legit. I mean, you book it on there, you get to the place, and you're taken care of. I remember booking my Fifi Island tour with them, and I mean, I got picked up at the hotel that they said they were picking me up on. The food was amazing, the tour was great, it was freaking amazing. For that, I know that if you book an activity on there, you're gonna have the best results. Now for housing, guys, I would definitely suggest that you check out Hostel.com. I don't stay at hotel, people. I don't have time for that. Hostels.com this is where you share a room with 15 different strangers. That might not sound appealing, but you have the option to probably do a single or double or less people, or yeah, just being by yourself. But I love that because you get to meet other people, you get to meet other travelers from around the world, and you pay $20, just about $20 to stay in a room for a night. That's freaking amazing. Where they do that at? So Airbnb is one of my favorite. Why? Because you could go from renting a super luxurious like little spot to something as cheap as sleeping on somebody's couch. They have it all on there. You can even stay in a tree house. You have the option of trying to splurge, or you have the option of being super cheap. Well, and safe, guys, and safe. So yes, Airbnb is one of my favorite as well. So there's hostel.com and then there's airbnb.com. So make sure you check those two out. And also the last one would be couch surfing. Couch surfing, it's like, let's say Facebook for travelers, where you can request to stay in someone's house and they could accept to host you. And the good news about this whole plan is, guys, you're planning maybe 6 months in advance, right? Because the cheapest way to travel is always planned like 6 to 7 months in advance. So that's what you could do on couch surfing. You can request to stay with somebody and they could accept to host you, and you have the opportunity to actually host somebody if you choose to as well. Depending on how you guys feel about security, I'm really open-minded. Like, I'm very like, I just go. But yes, you can read the reviews on how the people have been in hosting in the past. You don't just have to go blindsided in there. They have to be verified, they have to be certified, they have to be a whole bunch of stuff. You can't just go up to somebody's house. But anyways, guys, those are my favorites. So you have skyscanner.com, you have kayak.com, you have booking.com, you have airbnb.com, you have couchsurfing.com, and then you have hostel.com, guys. So the first things first is, like I said, get a planner, write everything down. The second thing is do some research. Why do you want to go there? And third thing, look at the peak seasons and look into the layovers, multi-city routes, and all of that, guys. Please, you can do this for really cheap. So I really suggest you just, it's all about the research. How passionate are you? How curious are you? And I just gave you the list of my Bibles when it comes to traveling. So check into that, guys. And guess what? I am traveling in April. I'm going to Iceland and England. Iceland and England. I didn't tell my mom yet, so, and she's in the background, guys. But yes, I'm super excited about this. And so tell me, let me know if you liked this video. Let me know if it was helpful. Give it a thumbs up if you did. And I really want to interact with you guys more. I just want to film videos that come from my heart, that I'm really passionate about, and I hope it helps someone. And if you have any questions about traveling and anything, let me help you. Just ask me a question. I'm gonna be so glad to answer it for you. And it was really nice chatting with you guys today, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, bye guys.